you guys have something in common, which is there's a lot of black people here. Right? So,
that's why
you know, I'm just saying.
Speak it real. Talk real.
But I just had a nice conversation inside, and what I noticed with my brand, and I was just having, I forget your name.
Howard.
Howard?
Howard.
So what I was telling Howard, because Howard said, thank you for supporting our community. And I said, it's my pleasure. And it's not a coincidence that I do so. And it's not a monetary thing. I don't support the Black Cigar community because you guys are consumers and you guys smoke my product and I make money selling to you. That's far outside of the point of what drew me to be attracted to the Black Cigar community. But I grew up here in Miami. I grew up 10 minutes down the street that way. I had my first cigar over here at a store that was called Maccabi Cigar Lounge back in the day. Literally, catty corner on that block there. And in Miami, I'm not a cigar shop guy. I don't like to go to cigar shops. I fucking hate them. But I love cigars. And I've been smoking cigars since I was 12 years old. And I used to come down here on my bicycle and I get a cigar and I go smoke a cigar. And my whole life I was always smoking cigars. And I go out and I go to dinner and have a cigar. I go nightclub and I have a cigar. I go to bar and I have a cigar. Woo! I walk down the street. Everywhere I go, I like to smoke. And it was a social thing for me. Because to me, cigars are social. And so when I got into the industry, I did my first sales trip and I went wherever I went. I walk in a cigar store and dudes are like watching Fox News and shit. And they're like, you know, nobody's paying attention to me. And I'm like sitting in a fucking lounge chair. And I'm like, this is awful. And then I got to the Bronx. And I get to a store. And the music's pumping. And people are hanging out. And it's cool and it's fun. And guys are like, where are you from? What do you do? And do you want to drink? And it was energetic and it was live. And then I went from there down to Civil. Yep. And party atmosphere. And then I went wherever I went. And so that whole trip, I ended up just kind of falling into a lot of stores that had a lot of black consumers. And I had fun. And I had gone from starting to make cigars, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, this is horrible. Because I'm there, I don't like to sell anything. I don't like to necessarily tell my story. I'm not a social person, you know, to sit there and like bullshit. But all of a sudden there was this energy that I felt in the room, and I felt alive. And I'm like, this is fucking special. So I came back full circle to why I smoke cigars. I smoke cigars to be social. I smoke cigars to listen to music. I smoke cigars to be around people. And the community that you guys share is a special thing. It's something that takes the cigar back to what a cigar is, because everybody's always saying, I like cigars because I like to go out and I like to meet people and we talk about shit. And it's like, yeah, but there's this whole energy and there's a life behind the community of cigar smoking that I grew up in. But I was the only one smoking cigars. But for me, it was a social thing. And so when I got thrown into the Black Cigar community by chance on my second or third sales trip, I felt very much at home. Because all of a sudden it's like, hey, we're just shooting the shit and we're talking about whatever and we're enjoying ourselves. Right. And it's a special community. And it doesn't have anything to do with black or white or yellow or green or whatever the fuck. It has to do with you guys do it correctly. And I think that's special. And I'm going to support that as long as it goes. Because what I see occurring on this side of that spectrum is something very unique and very special. Again, that makes me enjoy it. And my wife, funny enough, I came to the, my wife's over there, really tall, incredibly attractive girl.
Hey, wife.
So I come to the event on Thursday night, the opening event downtown. And I come home and my wife's like, how's the event? I was like, it was good, whatever, tired, going to bed, you know. Wake up the next morning, I'm like, hey, pick me out a suit. And she's like, for what? Oh, I got a cigar thing tonight. She's like, you don't wear a suit to go to a cigar thing. I'm like, well, it's a seated dinner and it's like an elegant thing. And you know what she said to me? She said, I'm going with you.
I want to go. Right.
That's good.
Now, she's never, ever said that to me.
Don't wear suits.
And we've been married for 5 years or something, or 4 or whatever the fuck.
You better get that right.
She went with me to one cigar event ever. And that was enough for her to never want to go back. But the morning after the event that we had on the opening night, you know, I need a suit, and I'm going to a dinner, and there's going to be music, and all of a sudden she's like, I'm coming too. And I think that on its own exactly highlights the beauty of this community. That you guys can get my wife to decide that she's gonna come out and she's gonna enjoy it as well. She doesn't smoke cigars, but she wanted to come experience what I was excited to go to and I was getting dressed up for, and she's here again tonight.
Yeah.
So I wanted to thank you guys not only for supporting my brand, but also for giving life to this industry. And as we were discussing a little while ago, you guys are what's giving this industry life. You guys are awesome consumers. You guys are energetic. You guys are fun. You guys are a growing community that has a lot of power at your fingertips. And people notice. And so we as a brand, we're gonna support this community, and hopefully it bleeds over and it goes from black to brown to off-white to white, and it gets more fun on our spectrum. You know what I mean? So for here and now, again, thank you guys. Awesome community. Thank you for supporting my brand, for supporting Jason, Nigel, and Grace. And we look forward to continue supporting this event and hopefully building together and doing more stuff and having more fun in the future. And, you know, thank you guys again. I'm happy to have sponsored this weekend. I had a great time. And I'm happy that you guys all came down and supported us and supported everything. Shut the fuck up. By the way, Nigel used to play professional soccer. Nigel used to play
I've never heard you talk so much in my fucking life.
He's amazing.
Nobody can understand your accent. At all. Okay. Dilly. That's it. Thank you guys. But if you want to be entertained, Nigel used to play pro soccer. He's like a super fit athlete. Watch him carry a box that weighs more than 10 pounds. And I'll leave it at that. Thank you guys. I'm leaving because my wife's tired.
I mean, she went out already.
I
She's
know.
done the most.
But thank you guys again.
She's done the most.
Oh,
Oh.
this is a cigar. Midnight Burn. So Jason wanted something very, very good for tonight, very special. It's box pressed Maduro Nicaraguan cigar. You guys know we don't make a lot of cigars in Nicaragua. We used to. Fantastic cigar. So they're gonna get one.
I mean, I
Let us know what you
box
think.
press.
Box press?
I love
Box press. It's kind of like
Don't threaten
not
me with a
exactly
good time.
square,
Right.
but it's a box press. But they're very good, very special cigar. You guys, if you like the tea, it's kind of in that spectrum. But we brought this in just for this event this weekend. So 250 of them, and that's it. So I hope you guys enjoy.
I love she has
That's it.
described it.
Thank you again. Fuck you, Nigel.